Hello folks, welcome to another video. Let me extend a very warm Australian welcome to you this morning. Even though we're flying a German livery and it's a Swiss aircraft, it's going to have a very Australian flavour, this video folks. Before I show you where we are, I just want to follow up on a previous video. I talked about my smile factor rating system for the GA aircraft in my hangar, and I invited you to guess at a notable exception that was not on that list, and some of you kindly took up the offer and provided your guesses. Thank you for all of those who did contribute. You gave me a smile as I read your comments. Nobody guessed this aeroplane. The PC-12, SimWorks Studios, PC-12, recently updated. No one guessed it. And that's a good thing, because you would not have been correct. That was not the aircraft missing from the list. There were a few different aeroplanes suggested. Those of you that suggested the TBM 850 from Black Square would also be incorrect, but that was a good guess. The majority of you guessed correctly. You guessed the Comanche. That's the aircraft that was missing from the list, folks. The A28 Comanche, generally regarded as the best GA bird we have in this sim, and would be at the top or near the top of most people's list. It doesn't even make my list. It's not that it's a great aircraft, because it is. I can admire it without actually enjoying it. I can't explain it, but it just does not do it for me. And I feel a little strange in saying that, but that's the reality. It doesn't bring a smile to my face. I admire the quality of it. The depth of it is amazing, and the majority of the community love the thing. It just doesn't gel with me personally, for reasons that I can't fully explain. But congratulations to those of you that guessed the Comanche. Today we're flying the Pilatus PC-12, recently updated by SimWorks Studios. We might have a look at what the updates brought to the aircraft. I'm curious as to what that is. I don't know. I just downloaded it, which was another story. Had a lot of trouble downloading this thing, and I wasn't advised that there'd been an update either. So I kind of had to stumble across it, which is another issue again. So, my expectations here aren't that high. It's an aircraft that I liked. I haven't flown it that much. I did a couple of videos on it. It flies or flew a bit funky. I don't know whether they've addressed that. I'm going to guess that they kind of have, by what I've read, but I could be wrong. We're going to take it for a flight anyway, folks. Beautiful here in the D-Fire livery, a German livery, the red and the black. The red in particular pays homage to where we are flying today, folks. Let me show you that flight plan. And we are down under once again, folks. We're out in the Outback, actually. Outback in New South Wales. And we've got company. Some GA company happening. I'll just turn those off. We're in a little place you may or may not have heard of, called Bourke. Bourke. So that gives you an orientation. Central North, New South Wales. Basically, we've left the green and we're transitioning into the red. There's going to be a lot of red dirt to look at on this flight, folks, hence the livery. So we're going to begin our journey in Bourke and kind of track the Darling River, the mighty Darling, for a while towards a little place which very few people, including Australians, have probably heard of, called Wilcannia. And then from Wilcannia, we sort of take a slight right dogleg and we're going to end up in a place called Broken Hill, which I would guess the majority of Australians have heard of. And they've probably heard of Bourke as well. They may not be able to place it on a map. Bourke The term Back O Bourke, is a colloquialism. I think that's the right grammatical term, a colloquialism we use here in Australia when something's a long way away. We don't quite know where it is. It's just a long way. Out in the outback somewhere. We say it's out Back O Bourke somewhere. You know, like where's Jimmy gone to live? Well, he's somewhere out the Back O Bourke, right? We don't exactly know where it is, but it's just a bloody long way away. So, Back O Bourke is a pretty common expression amongst my generation. Anyway, I don't know what the young kids are saying. I don't understand what young kids are saying these days, folks. Really don't. Don't understand young people. No, actually, I do. Got a lot of time for young people. I've got quite a few of them in my life. Might have created a few as well. Anyway, New South Wales, folks, that's where we are. We're flying the Pilatus PC-12. We'll have a look at the update. We might try and provide a little bit of education around Bourke, hey? What do you reckon? We might do that as well. And just go for a fly, see what this update to the aircraft has brought. What have we got? About, it says 2 hours flight time. 2 hours? No way. 262 miles. It's because I haven't selected an aircraft. My guess is it's probably half that time. A bit over an hour, maybe. 200. Yeah, something like that, folks. Anyway, weather looks good. We're ready to go. I'll get us started and on our way. Welcome aboard, folks. Engine start successfully achieved. Pretty easy bird to start, particularly when you take the amount of shortcuts that I do. We're going to take off with a tailwind, folks. We're going to head straight out runway 23 here at Bourke this morning. I'll just pause here. Get some lights happening. We'll also get our transponder happening to altitude, like so. So we've got our flight plan listed there on the GTN 650, and then the map over here on the 750. It's a nice setup. Nice mix of the analog and the digital, and predominantly digital. But it kind of feels like a fancy analog, if I can say that. Nice place to be. I like the aeroplane. I like the sounds. I mentioned in the introduction, the descriptor that I would use for describing how it flies is funky. And I've got no point of real life reference as to how this thing's supposed to fly. It's unusual, or it was. Maybe it's improved in this update. I don't know. But I'm not going to get into a debate about what's realistic or not. I'll just give my opinion for what it's worth as a simmer. That's all. Runway 23, here we go. We'll turn around. Lights on. We're going to need some flap, fella. We're going to assume the trim's all right, because we're not getting any warnings about trim, so we're going to assume it's all good. Blissful ignorance, it's called, folks. Come on, keep us rolling, fella. Keep us moving around. Bloody else will be a slow turn. There it is, runway 23. Bourke. A little bit of traffic around, but that won't bother us. I've just noticed something weird on the map. Looks like we've got like a figure 8 or something ahead of us. What's going on there? Let me just line up. What on earth is going on down here? We've got like a figure 8 pattern. Why the hell would we need that? We're going HFI. I don't know what's going on there. Alright, Georgie. With that in mind, we better get this heading bugger line, because I reckon you're going to be flying in heading hold mode, mate. A little bit nervous about doing nav hold after departure. Runway heading, there we go. 3 miles to our first waypoint. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So, flap set trims, we're going to assume are good enough. Flight idle, get some sound coming in. Get some talkie happening of the aviation variety as opposed to the verbal. A bit more talkie. I need a little bit of right boot here, I think. Perhaps I should have used some rudder trim. I'm using quite a bit of right boot. Power set, airspeed's alive. That's rolling straight enough. We'll sort of rotate about there. Once I go, oh yeah, she's very heavy on pitch. Positive rate. away we go. Alright, gears up into the bars. We'll retrim. Very heavy in pitch. And get Georgie involved pretty well. I'll get flaps up. Pitch up 10 degrees. Come on, bar us up, Georgie. I'm going to go autopilot here and heading hold. Alright, almost reached our cruise altitude, folks. We're up through flight level 200. This time, Bourke is but a distant memory. Although, I might bring up a web page, the official sort of website for the town of Bourke. We might learn about Bourke together, folks. What do you reckon? I've never been to Bourke. So yeah, we'll do that. The meandering waterway that you see on the screen, it's the mighty Darling River. The Darling River. Stretches for a while, this part of the world. Of course named after that famed entertainer, Jeannie Little. One of her catch cries was, "Darling." So she used to start most conversations. Jeannie Little. Folks, probably 2.1% of you will know who Jeannie Little is. But those 2.1% of you may just appreciate a random Jeannie Little reference in your flight simulation content. So you're welcome. The rest of you, feel free to just think, what a dickhead this guy is. He wouldn't be far off the mark. We are probably settled in the cruise, or about to. We've made that climb pretty nicely. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the transponder code that I plugged in earlier, 3664. It assigns random transponder codes, this sim, doesn't it? I've only just noticed that after how many hours? Actually, it's been a bit over 1,000 hours, the sim tells me. Well, the sim tells me 1,000. Steam, the platform, I run the Steam version of the sim. It tells me I've got something like 1,900 hours. That's a pretty big discrepancy. I don't know which one is correct. What's that red happening for? Cabin pressure. What's wrong with my cabin pressure? What are you doing to me, cabin pressure wise? What's happening? I've got it set correctly, don't I? What's going on? Do I need to increase it? What's going on? Manual. Yeah, I'm in the yellow. What? This is all auto, isn't it? What's going on? Auto, everything's good. We're going to be probably a little bit chilly in the cabin, aren't we? No, 21, we're good. What's going on with me cabin pressure? So if I go, I've got to increase it, do I? There we go. Is that the problem? It's not high enough? Come on, get up there. What's happening? This needle should start coming back towards the green, shouldn't it? Is it? I think it is. I can see it slowly moving, slowly dropping. Once that red annunciation disappears, we'd be good, right? See how this works, folks? Hey, this is riveting content, isn't it? An old fella trying not to kill his virtual packs. Of course, by this time, I've got my own oxygen mask on, of course. Save yourself, folks. There we go. We've got the red going out. What's going on here? What is this thing here? Store chip. Store chip. What's that? I've got no idea. Can I go back to auto mode? Auto mode. There we go. We're greening. Still got that pusher thing, which is annoying. 22,000. Is that what we're doing? Oh, of course. We forgot to bloody... That's very, very sloppy flying. Didn't hit standard barrow as we come through 10. Oh, it doesn't matter, folks. We're at the Back O Bourke. Hey, no rules out here, folks. Just make it up. You just make it up. Look at the red. Beautiful country. I think it's beautiful anyway, folks. There it is. We're tracking the Darling towards Broken Hill. In the next segment, I'm going to bring up a website for Bourke, learn a little bit about Bourke, our point of origin, and then we've also got some time to explore what the update to this aircraft has brought before we make an approach into Broken Hill. Welcome to the Visit Bourke website, visitbourke.com.au. I can put a link in the description. Then again, it's not that hard to type in visitbourke.com.au, folks. Back O Bourke is their tagline. Have a look at this. What a quote. If you know Bourke, you know Australia. A quote attributed to the one and only, an old bush poet himself, the storyteller, the master, Henry Lawson. If you know Bourke, you know Australia. Well, I don't know Bourke. I've never been there. Does that mean I don't know Australia? No, I probably don't know much. I like that quote. If you know Bourke, you know Australia. It's a very evocative image there. Text is overlaid. You got a local bushy in a, I don't know, near a shed of some description. Nice. Welcome. Back O Bourke, one of the most recognisable terms in the Australian vocabulary. Hey? But where, or rather what is it? It is people, and it is landscape, solitude and mateship. There you go. That's what Back O Bourke means. I thought it just meant remote. But, you know, to a copywriter, it's people, landscape, solitude and mateship. Yeah, that's Australia for you right there, folks. I won't read the whole thing, but yeah, there'll be a link to it in the description. You can visit different places which are at the Back O Bourke, the other side of Bourke. There you go. And we're kind of heading in this direction down here today. See and do. Information and Exhibition Centre, Mount Oxley. Looks like a whole lot of rocks to me. Alright. The Jandra paddle boat. Oh, that's a way to explore the Darling on the paddle boat. That'd be cool to do. What else can you do? See and do. Lots of stuff. This is Fred Hollow's quote. I've fallen deeply in love with this great concave continent, and that's the closest bit of it that's real Australia to here. Alright, Fred Hollow's, of course, famous eye surgeon, did a lot of good things for the world. You can read all sorts of stuff there, folks. What do they eat and drink out there in Bourke? What's different about Bourke? Oh, there we go. We've got some local Kazza's Cafe. G'day, drop in and say g'day to Kazza. Tell her old mate the Flying Dad sent you. We'll have her going, huh? But anyway, Morrell's Bakery, I'm sure they do a mean pie. The Northie Back O Bourke Hotel, the Wing Garden, Chinese restaurant. Every town's got a bloody Chinese restaurant. Port of Bourke Hotel, Rice's Back O Bourke cordials. They do a good cordial out there. I like it. Shindy's in. Pay your respects to Shindy. The Oasis Hotel, that looks like a bloody Aussie pub. Look at that. Fantastic with the corrugated. Oh, I love it. The Warrego Hotel, the Mulga Creek. That's Aussie dinky die right there. The Mulga Creek, and the Winaring Store and Caravan Park. Folks, there's enough to keep you busy there for a while, eh? I'm going to keep exploring that website. I won't bore you with it, folks. Of course, you can just skip over all of this shit as well. That's why I provide timestamps in my descriptions, unlike other content creators that make you sit through all of their stuff. I encourage you to skip through my shit. Your time is valuable, isn't it? In the next segment, I'm going to share with you and learn myself what changes have been made during the most recent update to this aircraft. And as promised, here is the changelog. We're over here on the SimWorks Studios website, folks. I think I mentioned in the early part of this video, otherwise known as the introduction, that I had trouble kind of downloading this thing. It took me a couple of goes to do it. It was very, very slow, and I received no actually automated notification that there was an update. I kind of stumbled across a forum post, and that was my way of being notified. So I don't know if something's wrong in the back end of the SimWorks Studios website. Very, very slow. It took a long time to download. It's quite a large file. Anyway, this is the changelog of the PC-12 version 1.2.6, which was released on April 17 of 2024. So they've done some work to the visuals on the exterior stuff. I'm not going to read each of them. They've done some work on the interior visuals. I kind of like the look of this aeroplane. The texturing and stuff I think is good. Well, it was good in the first version. I don't think they've made it any worse. Added the click spot on co-pilot headrest to show and hide passengers. We might have a look at that a little bit later. Cargo interior, so that, yeah, there's different versions, the cargo, the commuter, the executive, etc. There's minor improvements and corrections, bit of a catch-all. New material setup. I have no idea what that means. All avionics updated to the latest source code version. Okay, we've done some work on the EFIS. The altimeter, the systems, I've done some work on systems, engine, autopilot, condition lever, ground proximity warning system and terrain avoidance. Okay, GPS annunciator, trims, engine, there's quite a lot to it. Flight dynamics, here we go. So what have they done? We've moved the 25 degrees pitch from efficiency tables, adjusted low pitch settings for the full bladed prop. I think I'm flying with the 5 bladed. Modified propeller efficiency and tuned propeller from 1 to 0.5 degrees left. Okay. And in the flight model, they've adjusted flap-induced drag, increased flap drag, modified steering parameters to improve ground turns, revised flight model to improve yaw stability, reduced rudder trim effectiveness and reduced the yaw moment of inertia. Right, sounds like they've given some attention to some of the funkiness. We'll see what it's like on the approach. That's when it kind of, as I recall, that's when it really sort of gets funky. In the previous changelog of December 20, I don't know when I picked this up. Maybe I missed an update. I don't know. Anyway, so they've got a click spot to hide the passengers. Let's have a look to see and meet who we have on board today's journey. Of course, one of our passengers we know joins me on most flights. That's Kingy, up front where he belongs. Cool as a cucumber. Look at him, just loving a bit of outback flying. He'd be kind of staring directly into the panel. He can't see much, right? He's in a bit of a trance. He finds it helps to kind of stay relaxed when he's flying with the old fella. Kingy, and up back, we've got a few packs on board now. Set up a little view. There we go. We've got 6 on board with zombies. This bloke concerns me. Look at him. He's staring at the back of this bloke's head. This bloke's checking out her cleavage, by the looks of it, and this bloke's just absolutely fuming. He's just waiting for his chance to knock this bloke's head off. Probably wants to steal his hat. Is that a cool logo or something? You young people, if there are any young people watching this stuff, let me know if that's a cool logo of some description. But I tell you, this guy is laser focused on ending this guy's staring contest at her cleavage, that's for sure. And who else have we got back here? She's got something weird with the hair. She's got the tan hasn't quite made it all the way to the hairline. What are you doing here, love? I don't want to know what you guys. You look like you're playing a little game there. I don't want to step back. What's this? You got a little SimWorks Studio magazine back here. So is this like the executive version that I'm flying? Kingy. Is that right, mate? Are we flying the executive? Anyway, that's the click spot. So can I get rid of these people, including you, Kingy? If I click that? No. What's going on? Click it? Oh no, it gets rid of them. Oh, Kingy, you remain. Of course you do. VIP packs. Well, I can get rid of the backpacks doing that. Right, gotcha. Alright. Folks, we continue our journey. We're going pretty well. We've got some dotted lines appearing. That's because we're probably getting a bit low on the juicy, are we? That would be our range. Utilities, fuel planning. What do we got? So we need 30 gallons to get to Broken Hill. We're going to have 60. Oh, we're fine. We're good. Plenty of range. This thing goes forever. All good. Folks, I'll next see you for an approach into Broken Hill. Right, well into our descent now. 20 miles to run, folks, down through 6. Slow to about 220 indicated. Looks like we're going to have an easterly breeze for our arrival. That would suggest, we should land on 05, but if we took off with a tailwind, bloody hell, we can land with one. So that's what we're going to do. We'll land runway 23 at the hill. We'll see if the concluding stages. Beautiful Broken Hill comes into view. Isn't this gorgeous country? I think it is. I can't be the only one. It's tough country out here. I think it's gorgeous. Australia's just such a beautiful place. I know I am biased, but such diversity. Much diversity. I don't think enough of us get out to this part of Australia often enough. I wish that I had done more of it when I was a younger man. Anyway, down through 4. We might give Georgie the rest of the day off. Hey, we'll kind of line ourselves up for let's say about a 4 or 5 mile final down onto 2-3. Just come off the juiciest, get ourselves slowed. Decent sized town out here, the hill. Broken Hill. Flown out here in various simulators over the years. It's been a little while. Can't recall whether I've made a video of it. Most of the videos on the channel, folks, I don't remember making. That's why when I say I'm surprised by some of the comments, it's very genuine. People mention things in videos that I have absolutely no recollection of. We'll get ourselves slowed right down here. I think we can kind of, so heavy and roll. What am I pushing to reset? Probably if I gone through VFE.
Sync rate.
Probably.
Sync rate.
Asymmetric flap extension. Is that what that's telling me? I have created an extra layer of challenge. I don't remember what the speeds are. I was obviously, I've deployed the flaps too early. I've got gear now. We're slowed down to 150 knots. Now, so much trimming required. Kind of holding down the electric trim there for about 4 or 5 seconds just to relieve the pressure. Alright, down to 130 knots. We'll land flaps 30. We're going to have all tailwind. Alright, we'll take flaps 30 at this point. Retrimming, constantly trimming this thing. Getting a little bit of juicy in. So far so good-ish. I mean, we don't have a crosswind to deal with here. Hopefully that tailwind reduces a little. Well, it's kind of holding up. Looks like we've got whites and reds. Down to 100 knots now. I don't want to get much slower than that. Retrimming again. We'll just do our final check, which is gear down, flaps are set. Our fingers and toes are crossed on this one, and
500.
Thank you, Georgie. Our sphincter is as tight as it'll get. Runway 23. Okay, so we're carrying a little bit of crab in here. Try and straighten that nose a little bit. Use the feet, mate. Fair bit of work here. Oh, the birds get nervous. Right on cue. They'll follow me all the way to the strip, no doubt. My apologies for the sounds, folks. At least you don't have to land a bloody aeroplane with them squawking in your ear. Here we go. Runway 23 at the hill. Right, into a bit of a flare. And we are on. Into a little bit of beta. Oh, having a little bit of trouble keeping us straight. Right on cue, the birds. Righto, we're good. We'll get off on the right-hand side. What can I say about that, apart from feeling like I've got a severe ringing in my ears? It flew okay. Is it better than the previous version? I don't know. I'm having trouble keeping it straight. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't dealing with a crosswind there. But it did feel like I had to, work for my money, coordinate the hands and the feet, which is kind of what pilots do. But look, I'm sure there's other people with a far more educated and credible opinion about whether the flight dynamics are right or not. Anyway, folks, welcome to Broken Hills. A bit of freeware, custom freeware by the looks of it. Surprised myself. All right, I'll link to it in the description anyway, folks. Thank you for your company in another video, and until we next meet, you stay well, enjoy your simming, and bye for now.